Hey y'all, what's up? Alright, so here is the next video. Alright, so for today you had to do SOL 6.3 recap and then finish up those sweet conversions from going fraction, decimal percent, and back and forth. Okay, alright, so let's go ahead and get started on SOL 6.3. Alright, so SOL 6.3 was mainly dealing with integers. Okay, we're just dealing with the basic part of integers. Can you be able to tell what an integer is? Can you put them in order from least to greatest, greatest to least, and dealing with absolute value? Okay, so before we start looking at the questions, let's do a big quick recap. Okay, so integers mainly is going to be dealing with the number line. Middle we have 0. Any number to the right is going to be greater than 0, so like positive 1, positive 2, positive 3, dot, dot, dot. Again, these are positive numbers. Anything to the left of 0 is called negative numbers. And it's going to go negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, dot, dot, dot. Okay? All right. So here we go. First part we need to remember is what actually is an integer. Okay, again, an integer is any whole number, including 0, and its opposite. Okay, an opposite is just basically the exact same number that's the same spaces away from 0. So positive 1 and negative 1 are opposites. Positive 2 and negative 2 are opposites. Positive 3, negative 3 are opposites. Okay. All right. So here we go. So let's look at number 1. Identify all integers. Keyword there is all. Okay. So again, an integer is any whole number and its opposites. Okay. So let's get the opposite ones. So if I look here, I have the absolute value of negative 3, the square root of 36, negative 1/2, 1 1/2, 0, and 4 squared. So I already know 0 is. Okay. All right. Now, same thing that we've talked about before. Integers cannot be a decimal. It cannot be a fraction. Okay. So negative 1/2 and 1 1/2 are not integers. All right, so I have the square root of 36. Okay, we talked about exponents before. Okay, a square root is just basically taking half of it. Okay, so all that, the square root of 36 is just going to equal out to positive 6, which is an integer. 4 squared, again, that's an exponent. All that reads is just 4 times 4. The large number, the base, is the number that we're going to multiply. The 2, the exponent, is going to tell us how many times we're going to multiply it. That is not 4 times 2. Well, 4 times 4 is 16. 16 is a whole number, so 4 squared also counts. All right, so now we have the last one of the absolute value of negative 3. Okay, again, the absolute value sign just means that it's going to be the distance away from 0. So we can find the absolute value of negative 3. Well, that's just 3. Negative 3, if I look right here, here's my number line. Negative 3 is 1, 2, 3 spaces away from 0. So that would be absolute value of negative 3 is positive 3, which is also an integer. So for that one, you would have the absolute value of negative 3, the square root of 36, 0, and 4 squared. Okay. All right, number 2, which integer is 8 units left of positive 3 on the number line? It's not a hard question. So you're going to start at positive 3. You're going to count left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We are at negative 5. 3. Write an integer represented by each situation below. Okay. So again, we need to be able to find the key words. Okay, so if I read this first one, a gain of 11 yards. Keyword here is gain. Okay, they gained that many yards. They got that many yards. So a gain would be positive, and then I'll just plug in the number 11. A withdrawal of $40 from the ATM. Withdrawal is the key word. Okay? Withdrawal just means you're taking the money out of the bank. Okay? So if you're taking it out of your account, it's going to be negative $40. A swimmer sheds 10 milliseconds from her best speed. We didn't really necessarily look at this situation before, but the key word here would be sheds. She's taking it off of her time, so that would be a negative 10. If you want to write milliseconds, that's fine. A dolphin jumps 5 feet above sea level. Above is the key word, so that would be a positive 5. A loss of 15 pounds, something I need to do right now. Loss is the key word. So if I lost it, that's going to be taken off of me, so it's going to be a negative 15 pounds. A deposit of $300 into the bank. Deposit would be the key word. Okay, I'm putting the money into the bank, so that's going to be a positive $300. And a temperature 20 degrees below zero. Below is the key word. Okay? It's below zero. So that's going to be a negative 20 degrees. Okay? Not too hard, not too complicated. Okay? And if you get confused, have questions, stop the video, rewind it, or message me in classroom, email me, or find me and I'll help you. Okay? All right. Moving on. Question number 4. Identify all the following statements that are true. Okay? All of the following. So that means there's going to be more than one. Okay, so these are going to be dealing with the comparing rules. So let's go back over those very quickly. All right, so my comparing integer rules, if I have two positives, so let's say if I have positive 7 and positive 4, if they are both positive, the larger one is greater. Okay, I don't know why I put a blank there. Okay. The larger one is greater. Okay? I'd rather have $7 than $4. Okay? What happens if I have a positive and 0? The larger positive is still greater. Okay? I'd rather have $7 than be broke. What if I have a positive number and a negative number? The positive is greater. I'd rather have $4 on me than owe somebody $12. Okay? What happens if I have 0 and a negative number? So let's say negative 47. 0 is greater. I'd rather be broke than owe somebody $47. But here's the kicker. What if I have two negative numbers? So let's say if I have negative 12 and negative 4. The number that is closer to 0 is greater. The number that is closer to 0. Okay? The number that's closer to 0. So let's say if I have negative 47 and negative 48. Well, I still owe somebody some money, but I would rather owe them $47 than $48. Okay? All right, so let's look at them. All right, so here we go. So positive 5 is greater than or equal to positive 3. Okay? Don't let that equal sign trip you up. Okay? Well, positive 5 is greater than positive 3. I would rather have $5 than $3. So that one's true. This one, negative 4 is greater than or equal to negative 9. Well, they're not equal to, but negative 4 is closer to 0 than negative 9. So this one is true. Top one. Is positive 2 less than or equal to positive 2? Well, they're both the same thing, so yes, they are equal. Is positive 12 greater than positive 6? Yes, it is. Is negative 9 greater than positive 7? Well, if this is a positive and that's a negative, I would rather have $7 than owe somebody $9. So no, that one is not true. Negative 8 is greater than negative 2. Well, here's the thing. They're both negative, but this one is closer to 0 than negative 8. This one's only 2 spaces away from 0. This one is 8 spaces away. So this one is not true. Is negative 14 greater than 0? No, it is not. I'd rather be broke than owe somebody $14. And the last one is 15 less than or equal to 20. Well, we're going to ignore the equal sign because they're not the same number, but positive 20 is greater than positive 15. So that one is true. So I have 5 of them. Okay. All right, number 5. Which set of integers is listed in ascending order? Key word here. Okay. Ascending order. So we're going to go from least to greatest. We're going to go least to greatest. So what that means is I'm going to have all my negative numbers on the left. I'm going to have all my positive numbers on the right. And we're going to go from left to right. Okay. Well, I can go ahead and tell right now if I'm starting with the negative and ending with the negative, I already know that one's out. Well, if I have negative, negative, positive, positive, that one works. Okay. Well, negative 9 is the smallest. Then we go negative 1, and then positive 3, then positive 14. That one works so far. Okay, I have my negatives on the left and then my positives on the right. That works. But we don't count 2, 5, then 0. So I know that one's out. Okay, I have my negatives on the left and my positives on the right. Okay, these are correct, but look right here. We don't count positive 6, then go to positive 2. So I know that one's out. So I know my answer is B. All right, number 6. Represent the absolute value of positive 7, the absolute value of negative 7 on the number line. Okay, again, those signs mean absolute value. Okay, absolute value just means the distance from 0. Okay, distance from 0. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to find positive 7, and I'm going to circle it. I'm also going to find negative 7, and I'm going to circle it. And I want to show it the distance from 0. So what I'm going to just do, you don't have to do it this way, but as long as I can tell you that you've done it, you're good, is I'm going to show its distance from 0. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spaces away from 0. Same thing over here, but I'm going to go above. 7 spaces away from 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. All right, and number 7, which identified the 2 keyword true statements. Okay, so is the absolute value of positive 8 negative 8? No, it is not. Okay, absolute value is always positive. It is always positive. So is the absolute value negative 12 negative 12 again? No, it is not, because it is always positive. Is the absolute value of -4 positive 4? Yes, it is. Okay. Is the absolute value of positive 3 negative 3? No, it is not. Because, again, it is not negative. Is the absolute value positive 30 negative 30? No, it is not. Is the absolute value of positive 26 positive 26? Yes, it is. Okay. Again, absolute value is never negative. There's one case where it is, but you'll talk about that next year, and we'll worry about that another day. Okay? All right, and the last question. What is the absolute value of 0? Explain. You do not have to explain. You can if you want to, and I'll look at it and I'll say, bravo, good job. What is the absolute value of 0? 0. Okay? Absolute value of 0 is 0. All right. That's video for today. When you're going through them, if you got questions, hit me up. Email, Classroom, Facebook, Instagram. Again, I don't do Twitter because Twitter is stupid. And I'll help you out any way I can. All right. Peace.